The best guy right now is Joseph Parker. Why? Because he's not a big heavyweight. He's quick, he throws combinations.
You have had one round since March 24. Is it the right move for you to take this opportunity rather than having a fight?
Parker did the business. Parker's done everything he needs to do now to warrant a shot at Usyk. But would you even give Joseph Parker a chance at Usyk? It'd be an interesting.
Everyone's talking about who Oleksandr Usyk will fight next, but it looks like he's not really excited about facing Joseph Parker. He's thinking more about having another big fight with Tyson Fury, maybe for the third time. Usyk seems more interested in settling that story than starting a new one.
Queen.
Calling him the Gypsy Queen, yeah, no, not the Gypsy
Queen,
King. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Greedy belly, I love you.
Oleksandr Usyk doesn't really want to fight Joseph Parker next. Even though the WBO says he has to fight Parker or give up the belt, Usyk doesn't seem too worried. He has his own plans. What he really wants is another fight with Tyson Fury, a third one, and right now he doesn't seem interested in anyone else.
Message Tyson Fury. I don't have message in Tyson Fury.
But will you fight him next?
See you later. Queen.
Calling him the Gypsy Queen, yeah, no, not the Gypsy
Queen,
King. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Greedy belly, I love you.
The WBO has made it super clear. They want Oleksandr Usyk to fight Joseph Parker next. They sent both fighters a letter saying they have 30 days to agree on the fight. If they can't make a deal, the fight will go to something called a purse bid, and it has to start at $1 million. Either team can ask for that if talks don't go well. The letter said it's time to begin talks, and if no deal is made in 30 days, the WBO will step in. Even though Usyk doesn't seem interested in fighting Parker, a lot of people in boxing think it's the right move. Chris Algieri, a former fighter, says Parker really deserves this chance. He also shared who he thinks would win if the fight happens.
I do think it's a good fight. I also think it's a pretty dangerous fight for Usyk. You know, a lot of people are going to be like, oh, what about these younger guys like a Moses Itama? I think it's a little too early for them. Joseph Parker's a guy who's a seasoned pro. He's got a lot of experience. He's a former world champion. He's big for the weight class. He's athletic, and he's coming off a 3-fight win streak that, I mean, rivals any one of the top contenders right now. You know, he KOs Martin Bakole in his last fight. He beat Zhilei Zhang before that, and Deontay Wilder before that. If anyone deserves a shot, it's Joseph Parker. And it's just unfortunate for him. He always seems like the guy who's on the outside looking in, doesn't ever get that shot. So I do think he deserves it. I also think it's a dangerous fight. Does he have enough to beat Usyk?
But Usyk doesn't want to take this fight. The big problem is, if he keeps going after Tyson Fury and doesn't listen to the WBO, he might have to give up one of his championship belts. That could make things really tricky for Usyk's career and shake things up in the boxing world.
There's huge risks in taking a fight like that at this stage when you could be next in line for a title fight. Now, whether Usyk vacates and he fights somebody, the next best challenger, or Usyk decides to fight Joseph, which would be admirable, which he doesn't have to do probably because his legacy is secured.
To be honest, it's not really a surprise. Joseph Parker has been winning a lot lately and climbing back up in a big way. He's been working hard and staying focused. And now, after all that effort, the WBO says it's finally his turn to get a title shot.
WBO have called him to fight Joseph Parker. We don't know if that's going to be next. Usyk might vacate and go elsewhere with a Fury trilogy, etc. If it is Joseph Parker, what problems and questions can he pose that others haven't, or can he not?
This guy just asked me not long ago who I think would be best or had the best opportunity to give Usyk a fight. The best guy right now is Joseph Parker. Why? Because he's not a big heavyweight. He's quick, he throws combinations. He has a great trainer with him now in Andy Lee, and he's more comfortable than I've ever seen him in his whole career. And so I think that is actually a very good fight for both fighters, and this is the very best time for it because Joseph Parker is on the uprise.
While all this is going on, Simon Jordan had a big question for Joseph Parker. He asked how Parker plans to beat Oleksandr Usyk when he's only had one fight this whole year.
I've had one round since March 24. Is it the right move for you to take this opportunity rather than having a fight in between it to get yourself into a situation where you're really in the zone?
That is a good question because I've had one fight in 2024, one this year, and activity is key, and he's been very busy, Usyk.
What is the reason behind you only having one round, Joe? Like, Politics of the sport?
I have no idea.
The WBO really wants to see Usyk fight Joseph Parker, but Usyk doesn't seem too interested. He's thinking more about having a third fight with Tyson Fury. Even though Usyk already beat Fury twice, he still wants to do it again. For Usyk, it's not just about keeping his belts anymore. It's about building his legacy. A third fight with Fury would be huge. Fans would go crazy, the media would be all over it, and it would make a ton of money. But if Usyk goes that way, he might have to give up his WBO belt. And if that happens, Joseph Parker could end up fighting someone else for the title.
Oleksandr Usyk at this stage of his career, having paid I don't know how many sanctioning fees, or how much sanctioning fees to the WBO, will do what he wants to do. Straight to it and then kind of go backwards. Gut feeling, I don't think we see Oleksandr Usyk versus Joseph Parker. Do I want to see Oleksandr Usyk versus Joseph Parker? Absolutely. I think Joseph Parker is fully deserving of a shot. No one is going to say he's jumped the queue.
If Usyk decides not to fight Joseph Parker, then Parker might end up fighting a young rising star named Moses Itama instead. Itama is already getting ready to fight Dillian Whyte next month. If he wins that fight and Usyk gives up his WBO belt, then Parker versus Itama could be for the world title. That would be a big surprise for Itama, who not long ago wasn't even close to getting a title shot. But that's boxing. Things can change really fast.
You know, up and comer like Moses Itama a chance then. Someone that deserves it. Someone, I mean, I wouldn't recommend it, but if you're bringing up this foolishness of Jake Paul, then why not Moses Itama? Itama actually deserves it, and it'll be a hell of a fight stylistically, and it'll prove that Usyk is not afraid of the young, hungry, dangerous heavyweights coming up, just like Ali wasn't with Leon Spinks. So yeah, I mean, that's the way to go if you're a real boxing fan, but it's just in it for the money and in it for the spectacle and in it because you're in Jake Paul's pocket still, then yeah, all right, go to the circus.
While all this is happening, Daniel Dubois is facing a lot of heat. After losing to Usyk again, many people are starting to doubt if he still has what it takes to be one of the best. Some even say he gave up in the fight, which is a really tough thing to hear in boxing. Derek Chisora was one of the most outspoken critics. He didn't hold back, he said Dubois quit and looked like he wasn't trained right for the fight. That's some hard talk, but Chisora always speaks his mind.
You quit in the first round? But if you got knocked down in the 5th round, didn't he? Walked in there, was game on. By the time he got hit by 3 shots, that was it.
So do you think the fight was lost in the opening round?
I was watching it very carefully, do you understand? Because I like Daniel. You know, I believe that he'll come back. But for him to come back, AJ's not a quitter. You know, Dylan is not a quitter. Do you understand? I'm not a quitter.
Frank Warren, who works with Dubois, wasn't happy at all. He clapped back and said if Chisora really thinks Dubois is a quitter, then why not get in the ring and fight him? That could actually be an exciting match. Fans would love to see both men have something to prove. Warren said, if Derek thinks Daniel gave up, then fight him. Let's see what happens. Meanwhile, Carl Froch also shared his thoughts on the whole Usyk versus Parker story. He agrees Parker should get the chance. Parker's been beating tough fighters like Deontay Wilder and Zhilei Zhang. Those wins really matter.
Parker did the business. Parker's done everything he needs to do now to warrant a shot at Usyk. But would you even give Joseph Parker a chance at Usyk? It'd be an interesting fight. Quite fast hands, high work rate. But let's not forget who Parker's lost to already.
But Froch doesn't think Parker can really beat Usyk. He reminded everyone that Parker lost to Dillian Whyte before, and some of the fighters Parker has lost to aren't even close to Usyk's level. Still, Froch said Parker has earned his chance and should get the big payday, even if it's going to be really tough for him to win.
A few years ago, and he's since been beaten a few times by people that really couldn't lace Usyk boots. And I'm not having a go at Joseph Parker. And I do think that if anybody deserves a fight, he does. He deserves the fight, deserves the payday. But is anybody realistically giving Joseph Parker a chance against Oleksandr Usyk? Because I'm not. I just don't think it's realistic. And I'm a big fan of Joseph Parker. I think he's a great guy. He's a hard worker. He's improved a lot. He's had some good wins. Zhilei Zhang, Deontay Wilder, etc. You know what he's done. But I don't think you can stick him in with Oleksandr Usyk and expect any kind of success or any kind of result, especially after that performance.
So here's what's going on right now. The WBO says Usyk needs to fight Joseph Parker next. Parker is ready, the fans want it, and time is running out. Usyk has 30 days to make a deal, or the fight will go to a purse bid. But Usyk keeps talking about Tyson Fury. That shows where his heart is. He's not just thinking about holding belts anymore. He wants big fights that will be remembered in boxing history. But now he has to decide. Will he fight Parker and keep the WBO belt? Or will he go after a third fight with Fury and give the belt away? If Usyk lets go of the belt, Parker might end up fighting someone else like Itama, or even Dubois if he can make a strong comeback. Either way, the WBO belt won't stay without a champion for long.
Usyk beat Fury. I love them both. And they've done nothing but good for boxing and their families and themselves. And they're tremendous. They're warriors. They're everything. I don't want to see no more. I saw it twice. Usyk won twice. He won twice. And the first one could have been a knockout if he didn't hold himself back. To be honest, when Fury was going down, he stopped and let the referee get in. He could have put that final blow in there that might have hurt him. But he wouldn't have got up, probably, with that fight, as great as Fury is. So, been there, done that, seen that movie. Don't make another one.
The heavyweight boxing world is super exciting right now. Usyk has to make a big choice. Parker has worked hard for years and is finally getting his chance. Dubois wants to show he's still strong, and now Itama might be jumping into the mix too. Even famous people like Carl Froch, Derek Chisora, and Teddy Atlas are talking about it. No matter what happens next, one thing is clear. It's going to shake up the whole heavyweight division. If you're excited like we are, don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you never miss an update. Like and share this video with a friend who loves boxing, and tell us what you think in the comments. We want to hear from you.